When speculating about the future of humanity and the technologies that could be in the future for our species, we must address one of the most interesting situations that may face the future of humanity, that being that we eventually merge ourselves with technology. With the recent boom in technological advancements over the last 100 years, we have had a fast-paced upwards trajectory of advancements that has been going on. When attempting to speculate on the future of technology, a question that should be on our minds is, will the technological advancements ever slow down, or will they continue on the same path that they are currently on right now? If our technology does continue on this trajectory, and with the developments we have made so far, with body augmentations, and our understanding of the brain and the human anatomy as a whole, it is very possible that we could merge ourselves with our technology. I often ask myself how long until we reach a stage with prosthetics where the artificial limbs are more efficient than the biological ones. I believe this is a very interesting thing to speculate on, and I do believe myself that within the next 100 years at the very least, the prosthetic limbs will probably begin to overtake biological limbs, and then what becomes the point of even having a biological limb? What happens to why wouldn't everybody at the young age of whatever they decide it to be, decide to just be amputated and have these new mechanical arms where they can jump higher, run faster, not get aches and pains and things along these lines? And I feel like it's good for the future of humanity. While it's difficult to say, what I can say is it is ingrained in our species, as well as all others, to have the instinct to want to survive and live as long lives as possible. So if the option for humanity to augment our bodies and live longer lives is on the table, it is likely that we would head in that direction. As we have stated, there are quite a few positives to merging humanity with technology, those being better medicine and longer lifespans, as well as replaceable parts. For example, you can just get a new arm any day. A step above just simply merging with technology by implementing body augmentations is uploading one's consciousness onto computers. If this happens to be possible, the options of what humanity can do in the future will become limitless. Will we eventually transcend into becoming a machine civilization, 3D printing new bodies and putting our consciousness into them, as well as living in space and pretty much living forever? This all sounds very interesting and exciting, but there, of course, as with any major shift in technology for humanity, there are going to be negative repercussions from merging ourselves with the tech. One of the deepest questions to ask at this point is, are we truly even human anymore? And if we are or aren't, when does this change happen? When the first augmentations were made to our bodies? Or sometime after that? It is hard to know, but a very deep question to ponder on. While that question is mind-bending and hard to determine an answer from it, we can guess that with these advancements, we have likely created a superintelligence. As I stated in my previous top 5 video, a superintelligence could not have our best interest at heart and use these brain and body augmentations to enslave humanity. But perhaps if you don't believe that this is likely, then we can just switch the superintelligence for different governments around the world. They could use humanity as a workforce or as a military, all involuntarily, using people's brain augmentations. I always like to remind myself that there are always going to be people who want to see the world burn. So we cannot say to ourselves that every single human would have the moral and ethical compass not to mess around with people's brain augmentations and try to take over and use everybody as slaves and all along those lines. So it's hard to determine. Regardless of all of these positives and negatives, I believe that some augmentations will benefit humanity with fighting diseases and replacing people's missing limbs. The subject of merging with technology is a very interesting one, and I will be discussing the many possibilities that an alien civilization may be machine civilizations. So if you would like to see this video, please let me know, and I will be making it very, very soon. I'm going to do a quick brief overview and a quick discussion of my thoughts on humanity merging with technology. I know I've discussed many of the ways that this could work, but I believe myself that there is probably more negatives than positives, and as I said before, I believe that we should most likely, if we are merging with technology, not go overboard, but because sometimes we as humans, we go a little bit too far with technological advancement, further than we actually need to go. Just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should do it. Like, just because we can augment our brains doesn't mean we should do it. If we can change our limbs and you know, run faster and jump higher and live in space and different things like this, then it's probably very good, like, ability to do those things, but I don't think every human needs that. It just depends exactly. It's all dependent on what kind of evil people are lurking around those days, because we don't really know. It's hard to predict the future in regards to, you can predict maybe where technology might head if we have people focusing on the same technological advancements in the same direction. Like, we know that AI is going to become a very big part of our lives. Technology is a huge part of life already at this point, but it'll become an astronomically huge part of life in the future. But we don't know who is going to be around then. We can say, oh yeah, it's going to be peaceful, there's going to be all this, that and the other, but you don't know if the worst dictator in history comes around at the point where we become extremely technologically advanced and spacefaring civilization, all along these different lines. So it's quite difficult for us to determine whether we are going to be screwed in the future. That is basically what I say, but I'm very cautious when it comes to the mass amounts of technological change. I believe it's necessary for the future of humanity, of course, but me, myself, I'm a dude who likes living the human experience and likes experiencing nature and all these things, and I don't want too many big technological cities where loads of light pollution and you're not able to see the stars and the beauty of nature and reality. So I guess we'll see what the future holds for us. But yes, if you like this video, please smash the like button, and yeah, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. I will be bringing out another top 5 video soon, and as I said, about potential machine alien civilization. So yeah, have a wonderful day, peace out, and have a lovely time doing whatever you're doing. Goodbye.